lovely humans, welcome to Starlight and Stitches. Thank you so much for joining me here on the first video of 2024. Now, if you like crochet and crafts and yarn hauls and end of the month finished project videos, crochet book reviews, all sorts of lovely wholesome crafty goodness, then hit subscribe and join my subscribers, because my subscribers are the best and this is our lovely happy positive place here on the internet. Now today it is the first video of January. It is the first video of this year. So I'm going to show you everything that I made last month. I do this as my first video of each month. I show you everything I made in the previous month. Now, obviously this is everything that was made in December 2023. So it's quite Christmas gift based, but it might give you some ideas for gifts for other people, not necessarily for Christmas. You could have people's birthdays and things coming up. It's still winter time, who knows? So I'm going to show you everything that I've made, and yeah, come along, join me. Before I start, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone for all your support and love last year. Hugely appreciated. I do genuinely appreciate every single one of you that watch, that comment. I've been a bit lax with commenting back. I have tried to catch up with that over the last couple of days, but I do try and reply to every comment that people make. It's very humbling to me when people do make the effort to write something down below. So this year, my goal is to stay on top of keeping in touch with you guys. So if you have something nice to say, write it down below and I will do my best to reply. Also, I have cold, my lips are really sore. Great start to the year, it's going well. But let's see what I made, because we're like nearly 2 minutes into the video and I haven't even shown you anything yet. Let's go. So, right, my first thing that I made in December was a pair of socks. If you guys were here last year, or if you saw my completed like year amount of projects, which I uploaded last week, last December, I spent most of the month making bed socks for my family because they all asked for a pair of bed socks. I'd never made any before. I made up my own pattern and I made them all a load of bed socks. This year, my mum asked me for another pair because she loved the pair that she got last year. And I've lost my pattern. So I looked everywhere. I know exactly what notebook it's in. Can I find that notebook? No, I cannot. I've spent ages like trying to get this pattern right last year or the year before. It was the year before, 2022. And once I'd honed it, I had it all written down and like I followed the pattern, and I've come to try and find it this year, can't find it. So I've had to try and make it up again. They haven't come out as well as the last lot, I don't think. But my mum specifically asked for a little bit more give at the top of the socks, because bless her heart, she's in her early 70s and she struggles to get socks and stuff on. So I've tried to make them like a bit baggier around the top. So these are the socks that I made for my mum. Did them in a super funky colour, and then with the black heel and the black what's it called? The ribbing on the top. Wow. Oh God, this is such a good start. I don't know why you're here. Why do you listen to me? So that was the first thing I made in December. And then guess what? Made another pair of socks, and this was for my sister-in-law, who also asked for another pair of bed socks because she so loved her ones last year. I decided to make hers looking like a bumblebee. For absolutely no reason at all, just that I fancied making them looking like a bumblebee. I used the Hello Love chenille yarn that I got from Ready Cut. It was like a massive mystery box of chenille yarn that I got last year, and I used that and it was really nice to work with actually, and it didn't fray too much. You know, some of these chenille yarns, like the fluff comes off really easily. This was great, so I do actually recommend that Hello Love yarn. It's very nice. And then I made a snowman, which I have made before. This is a snowman pattern that I followed by Hooked by Robin. I made loads of these a couple of years ago. My dad's asked me for another one. He's got one and he wanted another one. So he likes things symmetrical. So I've made a snowman for my dad. Then I made another snowman. This is for my sister-in-law's mum and dad, who were supposed to be joining us for Christmas dinner, but they were unwell. But I wanted to make something to give to them while we were eating our Christmas dinner. But they were unwell. They still love their snowman though. So this pattern is really easy and I highly recommend it to anybody. It's a great little gift. After I was done with making socks and snowmen, I had to try and think of a gift to make for my brother-in-law for Christmas. A couple of years ago I made him a hat. This year I made him a new hat, a new and improved hat, and it's much better and it fits him and he loves it, and he literally wears it all the time, which makes me very, very happy. It's a very, very simple pattern. It's a half double crochet pattern. I think I did like a chained however much. I measured from here to here on my head because his head size isn't that dissimilar. So I measured from here to here, so to the crown to here, and then I added like an extra that much for like a turn up, so that was like my chain length, and then I just did back loop only half double crochets, up down up down up down up down up down up down, and then I kept measuring it around my head, kept measuring it around, and then when it fit around my head I just stitched it together, cinched the top in, and we got a hat. So that was super easy. Love that. And yeah, like I say, he literally wears it all the time. It's hilarious. My sister said he would wear it to bed if he could, if she would allow him to, which she will not. So after the hat, my lovely friend Laurice, who I know via the Good Vibes Yarn Facebook page, she does loads and loads of stuff that she makes stuff for charity. She does blankets and hats and all sorts. She's a lovely, lovely lady. And I've been looking for a fingerless glove, like wrist warmer type pattern for ages. And she sent me a link and it was perfect. So I've made several pairs of these fingerless gloves now. They were exactly what I was looking for. So thank you so, so much. I made a pair for my daughter's sister. So my, she used to be my stepdaughter, but obviously I'm not with her dad anymore. But my stepdaughter, I made her a pair for Christmas. And then my daughter saw them and said, I want some. So I made some for her. Then I made some for me. And then I made some for my sister. Yeah, so many of us are wearing fingerless matching gloves. And they're really comfortable. They're so easy. I'm a really slow crocheter. I can whip these up in a couple of hours, which for me is really good, okay, because I am slow. I know a lot of the time on YouTube you see people and they're like, oh yeah, I made this like whole 7-foot blanket in like 3 days. I'm like, naff off, no you didn't. I am not like that. It would take me weeks to make a big project. So I am a slow crocheter. So this is a great project. And they are wonderful. My daughter wears hers all the time as well. I wear mine. They're great, lovely, perfect. I will link the pattern down below as well for that one. So you guys can have a go if you want. So I'll just show you mine. I made mine in like this really, really thick yarn. And it's really cool. I love them. Such a simple thing. But my fingers are free because I can't bear having things on my fingers, but I get cold hands, especially when I work really early at the weekend. So I like poot off up the road at like 5:30 in the morning. And especially this time of year, it's freezing. These are great. So they're mine. And then my daughter's, hers are obviously slightly smaller, but they do just about fit on my hands. But she's only 10, but that's hers. So they're really cool. So that's those. So there is 2 last things that I want to show you. And these are my year-long projects that I was doing last year. So I have a thing now where I do a scrap blanket every year. I've done it 2 years in a row. I will be doing it again this year. I will do a video on that in a couple of weeks' time. But last year's blanket, so my 2023 blanket, I'm so happy with. 2022, we just did just a basic up-down stitch for a blanket. So it was long and wide and big. It's great. This one, I've done a square and it's sort of continuous. So I just kept going round and round and round and round and round. I've done it in a moss stitch, which is one of my favourite stitches. I'm so glad I discovered this stitch last year. Love the moss stitch. So I have got it here. It's a lovely big boy. This is my big blanket. Now, I am going to show you like a proper full out picture of it and some photos. But as you can see, each stitch, see if I can explain this properly, is 2 threads held together, and you just keep going with it. And then when you run out of one of the threads, you just attach a new thread. So, I mean, eventually you just get this wonderful kind of kaleidoscope of colour. It's probably full of cat hair and full of my hair, which is absolutely fine. But this has used up all of my scrap ends from 2023. So my little basket of end of balls and things, it's practically empty. There's a couple of bits left in there, but that'll help me start this year's project. So I'll show you some pictures of this out in full. I'm really, really happy with it. And this stitch is wonderful for this kind of project. I absolutely love it. So this is one project from last year that I did throughout the whole year. All done, happy, love my scrappy blankets. Now there's one other project that I was doing in 2023 that has taken me the whole year. So many of you will know I have always wanted to do a temperature blanket. I haven't got the patience to do a temperature blanket. I know that I will get behind with it and then I will give up on it, because if I get behind on, say, 15 days worth, and then I've got 15 rows, like big long rows to do, I can't be bothered. So I did a temperature snake. So this is much easier. It's a lot more, I can't think of the right word. It's basically, if you get behind and you've got a month worth of rows to do, it doesn't take very long at all. It takes about half an hour, as I discovered the other morning when I was like, oh my God, I need to do the whole of December. And I did it. Easy. So I'm going to show you my temperature snake. I had to stop then. I had a little coughing fit. So each round of the snake is each day of last year. And the colour of each day depends on the average temperature for my local area at midday of that day. So we started off with a little head like this. And then we had January. In between each month, I did put this dark grey stripe just so that I could differentiate February, and March and April, and May and June and July and August, September, October, November, December. This thing is massive. Her name is Nagini, as was named by my subscribers near the beginning of the year when I started it. My daughter, however, has nicknamed it Dave. She thinks that it looks like a Dave. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But it's done. I have completed it. Now, I do need your help and suggestions, because I would like to do a similar project this year. Won't be tracking the temperature though. Something else that I would like to track. I won't tell you yet, but it needs to be in a similar sort of vein to this. So I'm looking to do another project where I'm tracking something daily, but because this was so easy to do, because each day was like little and it took a couple of minutes as opposed to like half an hour for a row, I don't want to do a blanket. I don't want to do another snake because I already don't know what I'm going to do with this snake. But I need to think, this sounds really stupid, but I need to think of something like long and thin that I can make, that I can do like a row a day. And it doesn't have to have like a specific amount of rows, because obviously I need to do like a whole year. Any ideas? I have put this completed project on Reddit and I've asked for ideas on there, but I haven't really received any ideas yet. I need to think of something really special. Don't want a blanket. Don't really want to do a scarf either, because that would be too long and then I just wouldn't wear it. Any ideas? What do you think? What do we think of Nagini? If anybody is thinking of doing a temperature project this year, and you haven't done one of these, I would highly recommend it, because you've actually got like a thing at the end of it. Much, much easier than doing a temperature blanket. Oh my goodness, so much easier than doing a temperature blanket. And then you've got a cool snake at the end. My only thing that I would say with this is I wish that I had done smaller increments between the temperatures, so that I could have ended up with more colour variation, because although this is colourful and I did want to have like a pastel one by the end of it, I don't find it that exciting. So for my project this year, I'm going to definitely do smaller increments so that I use different, like a larger amount of colour. That's my plan. So yeah, there's that. just bonkers. I love it though, absolutely love it. So I need your suggestions. Excuse me, my cold. I don't think I've ever had so many stops and starts in a video. I'm so sorry. Anyway, we're pretty much done here. Give me your suggestions on what temperature project I can make this year. I know what I'm tracking. I just don't know what to make. If that makes sense. No blankets. Don't really want to do a snake. Don't fancy a scarf. You know the kind of lines I'm going down. Long and thin. But what can I make that's long and thin that'll be practical? Anyway, that's done. My scrappy blanket's done. Got another one coming up to show you in a couple of weeks. I'm really excited. Happy New Year, my loves. Thank you so, so much for all your love and support over the last couple of years. Here's to another great year. I'll still have my usual chaotic, unorganised, bonkers energy. That's what you're all here for. So, have a great week. Look after yourselves. Look after your loved ones. And I'll see you next week.